of heat now in my core area, the core area of my body. I'm wondering actually if my face has gone pink from the warmth. It's just really quite incredible. So it's very purifying to the system. And what I'm getting is it starts on the physical level. And part of the sort of the divine intelligence or message that's coming through with this crystal medicine is that so many of us are affected at a real fundamental level by, environmental impurities, environmental toxins, stuff that shows up in our food and water as well. And, we're aware of this, and there are ways that we can either circumnavigate it, or there are ways that we can counter affect it, with healthy, clean food and, purifying our water and everything else. It's, and there's this caution, actually, there's this message coming through about not vilifying the environment or the world that we're in, just becoming more conscious of it, how we contribute to it, but also what we take from it, that exchange. And so there's this message of having to start more at the physical level in terms of purifying and how that affects our energy outwards. And it's saying that a lot of us can have this sort of reversed thinking, especially in the spiritualist or new age world of, we've got to start from the outside in. We've got to purify our energy and clear our energy and, do all this spiritual work to bring us further along our paths of enlightenment. But what it's showing us is that because we are, fundamentally, we are light that have incorporated into denser light beingness being in our body in this physical form. There's a so within, so without, sort of an inside out transformation that also has to happen in terms of considering the energy of what we consume, the energy of what we ingest, the energy of what we imbibe. And what I'm seeing is not just in terms of food and liquids and waters and, other things, but also just the stuff that we put on our body, on our faces, on our skin, on our hair, the clothing that we wear, what we're, using to clean our clothing and everything else. And, how all of that comes into the body and sort of affects us within, which then affects us energetically as beings and shows up in our aura and shows up in other things, shows up in our thinking, shows up in our feelings. So there's while especially again in crystal therapy, because it's on my head, in my head. And anyway, we tend to work holistically on so many levels simultaneously. There's also this incorporation of bringing this energy and of helping to clear and release, and in a way that doesn't trigger necessarily a healing crisis in terms of the body feeling like all of a sudden it's got to flush a lot of toxins, but transmuting that energy. So this is something really powerful that's happening from this crystal, and that's happening on this whole holistic level. So for those of you who, feel like you need support as you move forward on your path of mastery, your path of enlightenment, your path of spirituality, to consider working this crystal into part of your process, part of your practice, your daily practice, your self-care. And one of the things actually that's coming through is that it's actually not necessary for you to work with it daily. Could be weekly. Could be once a month, just throughout the day, letting shungite cycle through your energy. Because interestingly enough, this is an incredibly powerful stone. And as this channeling is winding down, part of what I'm getting is that this is actually just one level of many levels upon which this crystal works and functions and works simultaneously with our energy. So woo! Yeah, I mean, my hand is actually sweating. It's just really, really hot. And as I said, I was interested to see what came from this crystal today, because it's the first time I've channeled from shungite and sort of worked with it this consciously and directly for a while. So I sincerely hope that information was of service to you guys today, that you've taken something from that you can use and work with this beautiful stone. And definitely I will consider doing another channeling in the future from this crystal to see more of the layers that come out. So thank you to shungite, and thank you so much everyone for joining me and for your love. And I'll put the vote up for next week's